So remember, our goal for all of these problems is to get it into slope-intercept form. So we want every problem to look like y equals mx plus b. So for number 1, it's already in that form. So what would our slope be? What's our slope here?
1.5.
1/2. And then what's our y-intercept? Do we have a b here?
No.
No. So what do you think our y-intercept's going to be?
0.
0. So our graph crosses the axis at 0. It crosses the y-axis at 0. And then our slope is 1/2, so this is rise over run. So we're going to go up 1 and to the right 2. So up 1 to the right 2, we put a dot there. Up 1 to the right 2, we can put a dot there. Once we have 2 or 3 dots, we can see what our line's going to do, so we're good. Do we have a solid line here or a dotted line? Solid line. So remember this greater than or equal to, that equal to means it is a solid line. Now we need to see where we're shading in, if it's above our line or below our line. What's a point that we can plug in to test to see where we're shading?
0, 0.
For this one, we can't plug in 0, 0 because 0, 0 is on our line. So we need to think of another point.
1, 1.
Sure, we can plug in 1, 1. Or we could plug in 0, 1. We could plug in anything that's just not on our line. So let's plug in 1, 1. So we're going to plug in 1 for x and 1 for y. And 1, 1 falls above our line there. So we're testing point 1, 1. So we have 1 is greater than or equal to 1/2 times 1, which is just 1/2. Is 1 greater than 1/2? Is this true? Is 1 greater than or equal to 1/2? Yes. So since that's true, we shade on the same side as our dot. So are we shading above the line or below the line? Above the line. So our graph looks like this. Any questions on number 1? Let's go to number 2. So here we have y is less than -2. We have that y all by itself, so that's our first step. Now, do we have a slope here? Do we have a number in front of the x?
No.
No, so what do you think our slope is?
-2.
If we have no x, what do you think our slope is? 0. So then what's our y-intercept?
-2.
Perfect, -2. So we go to -2 on the y-axis, put a dot there. What does the slope of 0 mean that our line, what does that mean that our line looks like? What type of line do we have here?
Straight.
Just a flat line like that. Is our line dotted or solid?
Dotted.
A dotted line. What do we do next?
Plug in a point.
Plug in a point. What point can we test?
0, 0.
So we're going to plug in 0 for x and 0 for y. So we have 0 is less than -2. Is this true?
No.
No. So if it's not true, are we shading above or below?
Below.
Below. Perfect. Any questions on this one? All right. Number 3. So we want to get this into y is equal to mx plus b. So right now we have 3x plus y is equal to 5. How do we get this into slope-intercept form? What do we need to do? Subtract the 3x. Perfect. So y is equal to -3x plus 5. What is our slope here? What's our slope?
3x.
Remember, it's just the number in front of the x. So what's our slope? -3. What's our y-intercept? 5. So we're going to put a dot at 5 on the y-axis. Now our slope, we always want it to be in fraction form. So we're going to put this -3 over 1. That way we can see our rise over run. So anytime we have a whole number as our slope, we want to put it as a fraction. So we just put that number over 1 so we can see our rise over run. So we're going to go down 3 and to the right 1. So down 1, 2, 3, and to the right 1, we put a dot there. Down 1, 2, 3, to the right 1, put a dot there. Once we have 2 or 3 dots, we can connect our line, connect with a line. Are we going to have a dotted line or a solid line here?
Dotted.
Dotted line. So now we're going to test the number. What can we plug in to test? Zero, 0. So we have 3 times 0 plus 0 is less than 5. So 0 is less than 5. Is this true?
Yes.
Yes. So are we going to shade on the side of 0, 0 or on the other side? The left or the right of this line? The left. We shade with the side that has 0, 0 on it, since it's true. Any questions on this one? All right, number 4. What do we do first here? I'm going to start calling on you guys if you don't answer. Angelina, what do we do first here?
Look for m.
So what's our m?
-1.
Remember, m is in front of the x,
Oh, so -2.
so -2. And then what's our y-intercept?
-1.
-1. Perfect, thank you. So we put a dot at -1. And then how can we change this -2 to a fraction? What do? For our slope. Put it over 1. So we have a rise over run. So we're going to go down 2 and to the right 1. So down 2 to the right 1, put a dot there. Down 2 to the right 1, put a dot there. Do we connect these dots with a solid line or dotted line? A dotted line. What do we do next? Austin, what do we do next? Amandine, what do we do next?
I'm not sure.
Lauren, what do we do next?
Find a point.
Plug in a point, so we're testing a number. Lauren, what number can we test?
0, 0.
0, 0. So we're going to plug in 0 for x and plug in 0 for y. So we have 0 is less than negative 2 times 0 minus 1. So 0 is less than negative 1. Is this true? Anybody, is this true?
No.
No. So are we going to shade to the right side of our line or the left side? The left side. So we shade on the side that does not have 0, 0 since it's not true. Any questions on this one? Okay, let's go to the next. Number 5. How do we get this into our slope-intercept form? What do we need to do first?
Add the x.
So we subtract x on both sides. So we have negative y is equal to negative x plus 3. We don't want our y to be negative. We need it to be a positive y equals. So how do we get rid of that negative y? If y, Sienna, what'd you say?
Divide.
Perfect. So negative 1's being multiplied to that y. So to get rid of it, we're going to divide everything by negative 1. So we just have to change the signs of everything in our equation. So we have y is equal to x minus 3. So negative x divided by negative 1 is positive x. Positive 3 divided by negative 1 is negative 3. So now we have this in the form we want. So we find our slope and our y-intercept. What's our slope?
Three.
What's the number in front of the x? What's our slope here? Nicholas, what's our slope here?
X.
So 1. When we don't have a number in front of the x, remember it's always just 1. What's our y-intercept? The other Nicholas. -3. Perfect. So we put a dot at -3. How do we make 1 a fraction? Just put it over 1. So our rise is 1 and our run is 1. So we go up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. Do we connect these dots with a solid line or a dotted line? Solid line, since it's less than or equal to. Now we need to figure out where we're going to shade. How do we do that?
Test points.
Test a point. What's the point we can test? 0, 0. So we're going to plug in 0 for x and plug in 0 for y. So we have 0 minus 0 is less than or equal to 3. So 0 is less than or equal to 3. Is this true? Is 0 less than or equal to 3? Yes. So are we going to shade on the left side of our line or the right side of our line? The left. So we shade on the side with 0, 0. Any questions on this one? All right, let's go to 6. So in the one that we did above, we had y was equal to some number, and we said that was a horizontal line. Here we have x is equal to a number. So what type of line do you think this is going to be? A vertical line. So anytime we see x all by itself, there's no y's in the equation, x and just one other number, we know it's going to be a vertical line. So what do you think, where do you think our vertical line is going to go? Where do we put our vertical line?
On the -5.
On the -5. Perfect. Do we have a dotted line or a solid line here? A dotted line. Now we have to figure out where we're going to shade. What can we plug in to test where we're going to shade? Zero, 0.
0.
So 0, 0 is right here. So we have to plug in 0 for x and 0 for y. So 0 is less than -5. Is this true?
No.
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 So are we going to shade on the right side of our line or the left side?
The left side.
The left side.
Yep.
Any questions on that one? All right, 2 more. Almost done. All right, we need to get this into slope-intercept form. So what do we have to do first?
Subtract 5x.
Subtract 5x. So we have y is equal to -5x plus 1. What is our slope? -5. And then what's our y-intercept?
1.
1. So we're going to put a dot on 1 And then how do we put our slope into a fraction?
Put it over 1.
Put it over 1. So we have our rise over run. Since our rise is negative, we go down 5 and to the right 1. So down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and to the right 1. Do we connect our 2 points with a dotted line or a solid line? A dotted line. Now we need to test a number. What can we test? 0, 0. So we're going to plug in 0 for x and 0 for y. So 0 plus 0 is less than 1. 0 is less than 1. Is this true? Yes. So which side are we going to shade? The left side or the right side? If what we tested was true and 0, 0 is on the left side, then we shade the left side. So we just shade the side that 0, 0 is on because what we tested was true. Okay, number 8. What's our slope?
Negative 1 over 3.
Negative 1 over 3. What's our y-intercept?
2.
So we put a dot at 2. And our slope is rise over run. So we're going to go down 1, since that 1 is negative, and to the right 3. So down 1, to the right 3. Put a point there. Down 1, to the right 3. Put a point there. Do we connect our points with a solid line or dotted line? A dotted line.
A dotted line.
What do we do next?
You testing.
Test a point. What point can we test? 0, 0.
0, 0.
So we're going to plug in 0 for y. So 0 is less than 0 plus 2 is 0 less than 2. Is 0 less than 2?
Yes.
Yes. So are we going to shade above our line or below our line?
Above it.
So we shade on the side with 0, 0. And since 0, 0 is below, we shade below. So when it's true, we shade where 0, 0 is. If it wasn't true, we would shade on the opposite side that does not have 0, 0.